Yes.
Okay.
Handles?
I brought
Like
a lot of
techniques of putting
examples, because
handles
sometimes a
on.
good bad example is like the best way to learn.
Okay.
We have some good examples. Blair makes these little bird handles. I don't know that they're very functional, but they kind of fun and creative. So that's a really nice little, the handle doesn't necessarily have to be boring. That is dry clay, and if you leave it out like that, it's gonna get even worse. We need to make sure we cover it up. Can you actually use it?
Has it been really?
It's too hard.
Well, yeah, we've been trying.
We've been
Oh,
trying
no.
and
Okay.
struggling.
That's why I
Oh, it
said
was
we are
dry.
making clay.
Oh, that's why. I thought
So
it was
there are
like-
lots of different
That's
handles.
why
This is a
it's
handle
struggling.
that is extruded.
What's that called?
Extruded.
Okay.
So you use an extruder like that, and you have a die, and you just do a long one, and then you can cut them and put them on. It's quite quick,
Okay.
quite easy. I don't like the fact that they're all
Okay.
one thickness,
Okay.
and I don't know, my old hands don't
Dunno.
wanna
Haven't
have weight
had this happen
resting
yet.
on here, and
Yeah,
that's what
it's
happens because it's a two-handle. Okay, there's a nice, distance between the cup and the handle on this one. I always thought that, this was kinda interesting in terms of how they did this. They have these two little buttons that they put there, and then one that went down on top. So it gives you a little different leverage. Sometimes that can be good, especially, I think this is a pretty good size, cup. That's the other thing you have to keep in mind when you get it full of something, is it gonna be good? This is Blair's favorite handle. They like to drink out of this, and, it works pretty good. It's got a nice, right, you don't wanna be against here, cause that'll burn you, right, if you have hot coffee in there, so you want that space. These are just hand built, right, roll a coil out, flatten it, and add them on and make them. These are Ivy's, who, was our artist for pot stock. This is something that a lot of people do, but it kinda
Yeah, I can see that.
doesn't, yeah.
It's like an espresso mug.
The
Yeah, it
one
looks like
finger.
Yeah, I
thing.
know, I'm seeing
Yeah.
just like the little loop, I'm like, that just seems.
It's like a double
It's
shot
not,
most.
yeah, it's never been my favorite, so I had to try it. So. This is another one of Ivy's. This is the one that Ivy liked. This was the one of Ivy's that I found in the recycle bin. So I thought it was kinda cool anyway, so it's a little bit thicker, so maybe they didn't like it as well as this one, which is a little bit thinner, probably a little more comfortable. It sits a nice distance, right? You could compare that to this, which is
That
like
just-
the worst handle
I'll
ever.
see, that looks so.
Yeah, it was just like a little coil, but look how far away that is, and
Yeah.
even just without anything in it, it wants to tip.
Yeah.
It doesn't wanna stay. And of course, it was very weak, so it got broken into multiple pieces. I just glued it last week, cause I always thought it was a good example for
What
a
not?
couple of reasons. You don't have the balance, cause it's too far out, right? It'd even be better if it were closer to the mug, it would work better. But also, it's this spindly little weak, and it pokes into your, right? I could fit my whole hand in there, so it's maybe not as big a deal that way. I don't know. You can look at these and kind of judge yourself. That one just happened to be here. I was drinking out of it. This is another of Blair's mugs. Sometimes, you know, carving can be a way to remove some weight and to make a nice, interesting texture. Some of my favorite things are the things that when you're having coffee and you're sitting there, your hands kind of play with. That can be kind of fun. This has got the little finger thing, which helps. Not too far out, not too far in. I like this for the size mug that it is. It's here because it got broken. But the weight was pretty good and it worked pretty good as, you know, for the size mug, it's not too bad. There is a reason that a lot of handles are like this on all of these Chinese mugs. These are slip cast also.
And which is why? Why is it like that?
Why are they like that? Because it's functional,
Okay.
right? So if you look, you got, right, you've got this here is a little bit flat, right? So it's not going like this.
And that's
Sometimes
what
when
you
they-
like, cause you have the
when they
weight.
come down more, when they come, this is a 3-finger mug, but when they come down more, like here, when the angle isn't straight out like that, they wanna, when you get them full, they wanna pull down that way. This is a 1-finger mug that actually has a heck of a 1-finger mug. I suppose you're using it at Grizzlies, and it's also very thick. It's a restaurant wear, so not necessarily, you know, not necessarily bad, but it's not the most comfortable. It was designed more to be sturdy.
Yeah, I'll say I
right?
can't stand a thick mug like
Right,
that.
yeah, it's in a restaurant, and it's
Makes me
gonna get,
nuts.
you know, pushed around with a bunch of things. This is a mid-century Sierra mug, and it, again, it's really not a tube, but it's got a nice, distance here, and the weight is pretty good, you know, it doesn't wanna go like that, right? That's the problem, is that they'll go like that. So, this one, sometimes people think they're gonna do something creative, and it's not a good thing, cause this just like digs into your finger, this
Pull that
part,
notch.
right? They do better to get rid of that. Otherwise, it's not terrible, you know, it's a little thick, but I like thinner
Really
ones.
like my first
I thought this is a
Yeah.
great handle, but it needs to be put on the other way, right? Cause this doesn't do us any good. We're trying to hold this up when it's full of hot coffee. It's nice this way, and it's a nicely constructed handle, right? Very cool, but it would be better flipped around,
Okay.
right? So that the fatter part's up here. So you're holding it more like this. You got more space. And then this one too, you know, this is just a hand constructed one. And it's not bad, but this is a little bit thick and kinda yucky down there.
Yeah, you can fix that.
Okay. So, making mugs, there are a lot of different ways to make mugs. I know, I think I mentioned that if you have one, kinda like this is verging on that, where it doesn't go quite, it's thick here. So it doesn't do the whole thing where it's holding a lot of coffee down here. But if you get a mug that's throwing well, that's this shape, and you go to try to drink that last little bit of coffee that's down in this part of the mug, it's gonna go all over your face. So, yeah, that's,
So like that one, I mean,
you know, I don't think it's enough. I think it has to be
No, that'll be
more.
fine.
Yeah, it isn't
That's
in
not gonna
enough.
capture any. You have
Right.
a
Yeah,
gradual
it
enough
has to
look.
be able to hold the liquid down here.
Got it.
And then when you turn it, yours are fine. I wouldn't worry about them. Okay, so there are lots of different ways to make handles. I told you, like with these, she just took a coil, flattened the coil, and put them on, attached them, and wants them a little bit funky, not too refined. This is a pull handle. I tend to like this kind of handle. This one though, I would have, if I thought about it or been cognizant, I probably would try to get this a little bit more flat. It does have that finger point, and that works pretty good. I kinda like using this little, texture thing that I have. One thing that I did like, because when something sits flat on a surface, it dissipates the heat. So I thought this was kind of a clever thing to get a little bit of a foot down there.
instead of a, okay.
Mhm. That's why the best teapots have
Like a
foot.
So it will slowly heating down by having the foot?
It prevents,
Or it
because the table's
prevents it.
cold.
Right, so
So
it
it's-
won't suck the heat out by
Right.
the thing.
Yeah.
That is clever.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay,
one.
now I'm just doing the whole.
Okay, so, there are tools, and you can even make your own tools out of, loop tools, right? So this is the tool for this, but
You
it's
just took it out of
like
a
for.
That's really wide, yeah.
Right, it's really wide, it's too wide for a mug, but I just thought I should tell you that
Make
this is a
note.
possibility.
Okay.
And you can actually just bend them yourself carefully if you have like one that's a certain shape and you wanna do it.
Use that,
So you can make yourself, kind of on the order of the extruded handles. I like to pull handles because I think it gives them give them a good attitude, right? Attitude?
Yeah, I've tried. I always get it too thin up here. Is where
Maybe it's how you're cutting it off or something.
Maybe, I don't know. This one I
There
just
could be a
rolled. I
reason
just
for that.
rolled this one.
Okay,
for sure.
so to pull the handle,
Put on the side of it. Thank you.
you need to kind of elongate some clay, right? So it's kind of longer. Got it going a little bit there.
I got it centered, but it's not easy to work with.
And then, where did I put the knife?
I mean, yeah, me neither.
Okay, so it really is, you need to have your slip, right? And then you could kind of go with your fingers different ways and shape it. So sometimes you can pull off chunks, which is okay if it wants to come off that way. So you're coming up into this top part and bringing some of that clay down into the handle. And then sometimes people will do this and they get a handle that has the ridges. I like that at the top, but I don't like that down here where it digs into your hand. So how does the handle work is very important. I'll let this dry out a little more, I'm not sure. You kind of see where it's thicker, where you might want it a little thinner. And then for cutting it off, if I cut it off straight, it's gonna come out straight from the mug. If I cut it off this way, it's gonna come out down from the mug. If I cut it out the other way, it'll go up. A lot of times people that are making coffee mugs will just do a bunch of these. I usually just cut them off straight and then I modify them later. We'll just do a bunch of handles and set them aside so when things are right, things are right. So you can just kind of let it perch to.
I see where people lay a bunch
this.
over a rolling pin or something.
Yeah, you could do that, or you can just, yeah, however that works. I saw this kind of interesting thing, I thought it'd be fun to try and share one more handle thing. And that is on the, video, they took a mug like this, right?